Now that you understand how bar chords work, we're going to look at the other common form that is used, which is the A form. So the A form is based off the open A chord shape, which I will put here. This is an A major chord. And I'm not going to put major because remember, just chord symbol wise, you just put a letter that is a major chord. Here we go. So this is an A major chord. Here are the open strings. Now technically you could play this E string here, but for this example, you're not going to play that. You're going to figure out how to mute this string because that is an A chord, but it's inverted and it sounds kind of weird, and it will as you start using bar chords. So let's leave that out, okay? So let's say now we are in A form here. So everything's based off of this A location. So let's say you want to play a B major chord. Now the same thing, all the principles that we learned in the other video apply. The distance from A to B is, let's count, 1, 2. Everything moves up 2. 1, 2. There we go. There. These open strings move up 2 frets. You don't play this. That there is a B major. All right, here's another example. Let's say you're going to play, let's go and play an A minor shape. A minor looks like this, very common chord, especially used for bar chords all the time, used all the time. Once again, we're not going to play this. This is an A minor chord. Let's say you want to play, let's go here, C sharp. C sharp minor chord. You're going to count how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 steps away. 4 steps. Or frets. Frets. So here we go. Move these up. So another way to do this is instead of counting every note up, I'm just going to kind of get one reference point here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you play enough bar chords, you'll just visualize, you kind of remember what the shape looks like. So you don't have to count every chord after a while. You just get one reference note and you can visualize the shape. Okay. That there, here, don't play this, is a C sharp minor chord. Now the other thing you can do is, if you've noticed that whenever you use your index finger to bar something, you have to sometimes change which fingers do the fretting, because when you're playing a normal A minor chord, you would probably use your index finger for this note. But when you need to use that index finger to bar, then you need your other 3, your middle, ring, and pinky fingers to do the fretting here. So another thing you can start doing is, as you play these open chord shapes, start fretting even the open ones without using your index finger. So you'd probably use your, let's see, middle there, your pinky there, and your, ring finger there, pinky there, middle finger there, so that you can leave your index finger over. And what you can kind of do is just, even though it's open, you don't need to fret this, just drape your index finger over this area behind the nut. And then when you know C sharp minor is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away, with this shape in place, just move the entire pattern up 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that your hand, the shape of it, or what they call the grip sometimes, just stays intact as you just move up the neck. That would be another way to do it. Okay, let me give you one more example here. So I'm going to show you another type of open A chord. It's a real modern sounding one, and it looks like this. Don't play this. This is called an A2 chord. Really nice sounding type of major chord. Adds a 2-note to it. So let's say you want to play, let's go way up. Let's go F. F2. Well, if you know how to play the type, a chord that's a 2 type down here in A form, all you need to do is change the location, right? So let's go, how far is F from A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 steps. So we're going to move all this up. This time I'm going to move this bar, remember? Kind of the last example I showed you. I'm going to move that bar up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the bar first. Okay, got that. We're not going to play this string. And then look at kind of what this looks like. These 2 fretted notes are 2 frets away. So I'm just going to go 1, 2. And right there you have a beautiful sounding F2 chord. Now, you might be wondering, well, when do I use the A form bar chords and when do I use the E form bar chords like I learned on the last one? So that's a really good question. But one, I mean, and there's a lot of different reasons why you would want to use one over the other. But one of the reasons is, here, let me put this up. You remember these are the 2 forms that we know, the E and the A form. Well, one of the reasons why you might choose one or the other is because, one, let's say you only know a certain type of chord in one of these forms. Like for example, an A2 is played like this. To play an E2 in an open position is much more difficult to play than in this A form. So even though if you figured out how to play that, from E to F is only 1 step, so you would only have to bar 1 step higher using this E form. Since you only know it in this A form and it's easier to play, it might be more desirable to play it up here. Well, the same thing, kind of that same logic goes, sometimes you don't want chords skipping like way up here on the 8th fret and then down here on the 1st fret and then all the way up here on the 9th fret and then back here on the 3rd fret, because you know that's just kind of going, you're making huge leaps, and it could be more difficult to play. You might, for that reason, determine which form to use to play a progression, like a set of chords, so that your hands don't have to move too far, because that might just be, you know, if it's a fast song, it might be too difficult to do that. But between the A and the E form, you can basically play any type of song, any type of chords in one general area, region of the fretboard that will allow you to play most any song. The one other thing I want to say about playing bar chords is when you play bar chords, no strings that are open are played, you know, so they're all barred up. So there's no ringing open notes, and that's going to have a specific type of sound to it, which for certain styles, it's very desirable to have that type of sound. But sometimes in certain styles of music, when you don't play any open strings, it doesn't sound like the way you want it. And so we'll start looking at that in a different series of videos, incorporating open strings to our chords. But bar chords basically will allow you to play anything. It'll have a certain sound, but it will get the job done. There you go.